I made one small change to how I made YouTube videos, and then this happened. In 28 days, I was able to double the number of subscribers, finally breaking through my plateau. Then I decided to look at my analytics dashboard, and I couldn't believe what I saw. I had over 77,000 impressions on YouTube alone. Now, the reason this was so amazing, and me being an ads guy, is that if I tried to achieve the same thing on Facebook, it would have costed me at least $3,000 to $4,000 in ads alone. And if things couldn't get any better, I started generating 1 lead a day on average. All because I focused on the quality of my script. And I don't mean that I wrote down what I wanted to say. I searched and analyzed hours of content from the best webinars, the most viral edutainment videos YouTube has to offer, just so I can make the best script and give it to you. So stick around to the very end, because I'm gonna show you the one secret sauce thing I added right before I create my script to instantly make my videos better. And I'm gonna show you how to use the perfect YouTube script to outline and make your videos more engaging so that you can increase retention, get more views, and get more subscribers. Then I'm gonna share how to use stories to teach without being boring. And then after the end of the video, I'm gonna show you where you can download this script so you can start using it yourself. Now, having an ads background, specifically in Facebook, YouTube has always been on my mind. And I've been to a ton of private masterminds, and I remember when I was in Myron Golden's in 2021, and he was talking about getting into YouTube. Well, Myron really blew up, and it got me to believe, wow, I could do this too. And then when I started getting back into YouTube, I knew if I could identify the variables in the videos that did well in the edutainment niche, I could model those videos and make a script for myself. And although I did find a bunch of scripts, none of them ever really went to detail about the story. Everything I found the model had minimal information. Have a hook, have a story, have bullet points. Nothing actually showed you how to make a story and the minimum viable elements needed to actually make one. So after hours of consuming content, I knew if I wanted to make better YouTube videos, I had to look on YouTube. So I started dissecting some of the best YouTubers in the industry. Ed from Film Booth, Think Media, and I even watched some really good webinars. What I found was all these videos, even each speaker was different, but they all had these 5 key principles. As I saw it in one, I would go back and I would go see it from the other. And then I started marking down and seeing these variables pop up. So here's what they are. Number 1, they all had a power hook that draws people in. Number 2, as an option, some had an agenda promise rebuild where they covered what they were gonna teach you. Number 3, the story brought undeniable value to the content. And then the story itself had 4 components to it, which we're gonna cover. And number 4, they all had a revelation that got to the big idea in a brief summary. Now, before we get into our content, we have to make sure our content actually gives undeniable credibility and value to the topic we're covering. Have you ever driven downtown in fall after Thanksgiving and you see Main Street well lit with all these beautiful lights? Why are all these lights up? Is it the most wonderful time of the year? How did you know it? Because it's the theme for Christmas. The problem is most of us don't do this with our videos. Let me explain. Our audience needs to know what the video is about, along with coming to the conclusion the information is going to help them with something specific. We need to align our videos to the theme or topic of choice so our audience can quickly identify the information as relevant and a resource. Hence why you see Christmas lights at Christmas time. The way I do this is by asking myself one specific question before I get started. What is the one belief or one thing I want them to believe and take away from this video? As an example for this video, I want my audience to know that scripting videos based off of proven principles of other successful videos can be the thing that's holding them back from getting more subscribers and more views. Now, it's kind of like my North Star, and this helps me stay on point when writing my script. The last thing I want to do is word vomit a bunch of things that have nothing to do with the video itself. The way we make YouTube videos that people want to watch and subscribe to requires 2 things, and I'm going to break those down into 2 pieces, part A and part B. So let's look at part A. Introducing the content in a way they find valuable by setting the stage at a 30,000 foot view. And then part B is teaching the principles of your content in smaller pieces at a 10,000 foot view. Now, you've probably thought about this question a lot. How do I get my audience to find my content valuable or even build an audience? And this starts with setting your content foundation. We start by sharing a high-level 30,000 foot view that gives your audience the ability to understand the big idea first before buying in to doing the little things at 10,000. One of the biggest mistakes I see being made is people going right into teaching without giving any context. The problem is people don't quite know how valuable what you're teaching is yet. And it's kind of like trying to tell a funny joke, but without the punchline. Let me demonstrate. I used to be addicted to soap. Imagine if I just stopped there. Now, let's do the full thing. I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now. Okay, let's do one more joke for funsies. how do you get a country girl's attention? Attractor. I could go all night. Anyway, now as much as I want to continue telling dad jokes, imagine if I never finished the jokes to give the context needed so that you found it funny. If I didn't, you would probably leave frustrated and probably never want to see me again, or you thought my jokes were so horrible, you already bounced. Now, that's exactly what it's like when you go straight into teaching without setting up. It's like preheating the oven. So how do we actually create our videos to be something they actually want to watch? Remember how I told you I watched hours of some of the best YouTube videos? Then I tried it and got more views and subscribers than I've ever gotten. What I found were these elements. Number one, the story consists of the situation. This is the setting of where it all started. Number two, the obstacle or the problem. What problems or challenges did you encounter? Number three, the goal or desire. What was the goal? What was the desire you wanted to achieve? Number four, the quantum leap. How did you actually reach your goal and what was that like? And then the revelation. What was your big light bulb moment or your aha moment? I am literally using this process myself right now. And in the beginning, I talked about aligning the content with one belief. That belief is using a script that can help you get more views and subscribers, let alone making the process of creating all your videos faster. Okay, so now that we know how to increase the value of the content, how do we teach it in a way to do the same? Remember how I said there's a part A and a part B? Part B is teaching the principles of your content into smaller pieces. So taking it from a 30,000 foot view down to a 10,000 foot view. So in 2020, I started hosting online challenges to not only get better at making videos, but also use it as an opportunity to build a list and test offers. Now, I remember one of my first challenges, I went all in on implementation and literally showed people how I was making $2,000 to $3,000 a day. Like, this stuff was life-changing. Nobody implemented it after the challenge. And I know this because I gave out access to the replays and set up an accountability group, and it was crickets. Now, I was scratching my head on this, and for the longest time I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized it was because I missed two things. I had never built the value and the credibility at a higher level with what I was going to teach in the first place. And then I didn't teach it in a way that showed why it worked. The same concept works when it comes to teaching. Remember how I talked about when you're telling a joke and you need the punchline for people to find the joke funny? Well, we have to use the stories the same way to take something from a high level 30,000 foot view and break it down into smaller actionable steps that are less complex. Now, in part of the process I walked you through for the story process, it looks like this. The story consists of the situation, the obstacle, the goals, desires, solutions, the quantum leap, which is how is that journey from problem to solution, then you have your revelation. The revelation is the big aha moment you want them to walk away with, the big idea. Overall, it's the same process as before, you're just replacing the quantum leap with the what principle. So the best thing you could do is honestly practice telling your story and add metaphors and examples in there. So look out for a link below, download the script. Thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.